Hi guys, I'm coming live to you today on Everything Dachshunds and Dogs Facebook group. What I'm going to talk about is literally what to do if you believe your dog has IVDD. Obviously, most of the people in this group are Dachshund owners. We do have other dog owners, but obviously with Dachshunds, it's a high probability that your dog will get IVDD. So what do we do if we believe it's actually happening with our dog? I'm going to go over 10 points. So the first point literally is you see your dog acting a little bit strange, just breathe. That's really the first point. Don't panic, because we don't want your energy, if it's in a panic mode, to go into the dog. Just breathe. Just know that we've just got to go through the process. So that's point number one. Number two, know what the stages are of IVDD. Now there's 5 stages, 1 through to 5. So read up about them, know what they are, and know that when you need surgery and when you don't. Now this is a personal view, this is my view, not anyone else's, and you've got to do your own homework. But for me, I believe if you can afford surgery, I would be looking at stage 4 or 5 to do surgery. For me, I've had my boy for stage 3 twice, and I didn't go down the surgical route with him. My other girl was a stage 2, and we again didn't go down the surgical route with her. But that's my personal choice. So you need to find out what you're going to do for your dog. And every dog is different and every person is different. But really, know about the stages and what they are. And we can talk about that in another video as well as we go forward. 3, I suppose, if you've woken up or you've come home from work or you just see something, assess your dog. You think something is off, and it can be such simple things. It can be that they're just not eating, and you might have a guts of a dog and just not eating. There's something not right. It could be that they're not asking to get on the couch like they usually do, or jumping on the couch that they usually do. It could be that they can't walk over the stoop as you go out the door. They're just struggling or going really slowly to get over that stoop. Know just the little things, and you're the best one to identify it. It could be you've woken up and your dog is just not moving at all. They're just not able to walk, and maybe they've either peed or pooped themselves. So there's so many different ways that you can see what IVDD looks like. It could be that they're walking as if they're drunk. You know your dog, and sometimes something small, and sometimes when I talk to people who've had dogs with IVDD, they've gone, wow, we actually probably noticed 2 or 3 days ago that there was a problem, but it just didn't twig. Now, know that some small little things are literally about IVDD. Not always, but just watch for them. So that's what I say. Number 4, you need to get a vet assessment. I think if you haven't had IVDD in your dog and you own a Dachshund, understand that you need to have you want to know that your vet is with you and understands Dachshunds. We've had a lot of Dachshunds misdiagnosed and told they had maybe a gut issue when it's been IVDD. So know your vet, but also you need to know more about IVDD than anyone. Have that something to learn. What is IVDD? Get to the vet assessment. Now I'm going to tell you, most Dackies seem to get IVDD late at night or over a long weekend. It's just strange that they seem to do that. And we're coming into the colder weather now, and we're seeing more and more of it. It means you're going to go to an emergency vet, most likely. Know where your emergency vets are. That's so important to know now where they are, and be on top of your dog and know that your dog is just not right. And even if he's just not walking right, ask for the meds. So we need some pain meds and some anti-inflams, even if he's in the first stages of IVDD. And sometimes the dogs, they're very stoic, but believe me, they are in pain. So know your dog there. Once you've had that vet assessment, if you're not in the high stages, I don't believe you need to go to a specialist vet. If your stage is 1 or 2, I think it's a wait and see. So certainly come home and start looking after your dog conservatively at home. But if there are 3, 4, and 5, you're going to probably want to see a specialist vet. Never had IVDD in your household with your dog? Get to know who your specialist vets are. So here in Perth, we're down to 5 again. So we've got five specialist centres that look after IVDD dogs. Wherever you're watching from, know where your specialist centres are. Also understand that the specialists are absolutely, totally wiped out at the moment with the amount of dogs that are going down with IVDD. So it's hard to see a specialist. So the specialist that you might want won't be available. So you've actually got to make quite a few phone calls to get to the specialist, but always get a referral put in place by the vet that you see that day or that night. So when you see the general vet, make sure you have a referral put in place for a specialist centre. Because what we do see, if your dog presents as a stage 1 or 2, it can progress. So this is why we need that referral in place. So we haven't got to go through all the hassle of going back to a vet to get that referral. So that's so important. Get that referral in place. And obviously don't forget to bring the medications home, because that is so important. And decide what route you're going to take when it comes to how you're going to look after your dog. If you have a Dachie and your dog has never had IVDD, be financial. And when I say be financial, it means you need to have $10,000 or $20,000 available, because that's what it's going to cost. Now, if you're now freaking out that, wow, I don't think I can afford that much for surgery, then we go down the conservative route. We've had such success with some stage 4s and some stage 5s that are walking again. Surgery is the best option, but not the only option. So I'm just going to say, just know which route you're going to take. Surgical or medical? That's what you've got to decide, and decide it now. Know which route. So important. Bringing your dog home, whether you're going down the surgical route or medical route, you've got to do the same thing when you bring your dog home. You need to have the right setup at home. When I say the right setup, your dog will need to be restricted, and the restriction can be within a crate or a pen. Some dogs aren't crate trained, and some dogs will go absolutely berserk in the crate. So a pen sometimes is a little bit better. So again, know what your dog wants. But when it comes to a crate, so the crate needs to be at least 36 inches for a Dachshund. If you've got a standard Dachshund, then it needs to be bigger than that. So the bigger, the better. So set up your home correctly. Set up the mattress, preferably not like a round, soft, fluffy bed, a good flat orthopedic mattress in the crate or in the pen, a good solid water bowl, and some licky mats that they can get to. So it's so important to get that crate on the home environment right. Number 8 is ask for help. If you've never been through it, it's frightening. It is honestly frightening. I've been through it 4 times now. The first time, which was 30, 40 years ago, I didn't know what it was, and it was frightening. Now the second time I went through it was with my Ted, and I have dealt and I have looked after, I'm going to say, hundreds of Dachies with IVDD. But the first time it happens to your own dog, it's frightening. So just ask for help. I can remember it was 10 o'clock at night and I couldn't even remember where the emergency vet was. So just remember that, and that's why it's so important to maybe have a plan, even if that plan's written on the fridge and all the emergency vets are on the fridge, so you know what you're doing and you can just go to that fridge, because your mind does just fizzle out. So ask for help. So many of us have been through this. So yeah, ask for help. So if you've got anyone with a Dachshund, get them to come onto the group so we can talk about IVDD. And if your dog has never, ever had IVDD, learn about it, understand it, and know what it is. Now, I say IVDD, and a lot of people might be watching this going, what's IVDD? The reason why we say IVDD, because it's much easier to say than the actual word, which is intervertebral disc disease. So you can see it's a bit of a tongue twister. And so we say IVDD, just a lot easier to do. But just remember to breathe, relax, and there's many people out there that can help you through this next process. And the next process of looking after your dog, whether they've had surgery or not, is going to be the same. We're going to be restricting them either in a crate or a pen. I will leave you now and let's talk about it in the group and let's get to know this disease. It's not as bad as everyone makes out. It's okay. We will get through this. I will see you in the group, Everything Dachshunds and Dogs. Bye for now.